Hello, everybody. Happy Fun Day Monday. So, I was just listening to a video where someone was talking about them being able to scan a stadium and be able to tell what percentage there were background actor and actresses, what percentage was there that was driven by the dark, what percentage there was people that hold the light, etc., etc. And as I'm listening, I'm getting messages about that's a pretty powerful gift, a skill, if you will, that you can actually scan and see those numbers. Now, the way I get information is I can scan things, but most of the information is just for me to know. And I'm not an alarmist, and I don't live on the edge of my seat trying to hype others up and out of their seat. Because what that does is it stresses the adrenals and the nervous system, as well as creating waves of fear. Okay? Because if you were listening to that and you happen to be in that particular arena, stadium, and this is all metaphors for scanning, and you say that, it makes you want to look to the left and the right of you. Makes you want to start looking. Are they from the good side? Are they from the bad side? Are they this here as walking shells looking like a human? Are they an ET? Are they angelic? What are they, right? And that's all good if you want to hone in and learn how to skill that. But you have to ask yourself, how much does that take me off my own path? And how much of that is a distraction? That if I'm meant to know, I will scan and I will know. But most of us that know stuff, many will override it with dismissal of those answers, because how could you? How could I? How could we know this stuff, right? So we begin to doubt ourselves. So we sabotage our own learning experiences. So then I went back into, as I'm listening to this video, I went back into my own past life regression experience. And in this particular experience, I was in a room, a classroom, and there was a teacher there, and there were other students talking to the teacher, planning out their life goals. And I was just staring at this blank piece of paper, extremely frustrated because I didn't know what else to write down, or I didn't know what to write down on this blank piece of paper. And in my physical life, I was at a point where I felt like I ran through my scroll and had completed a lot of things that I came here to learn. And now I was in this blank holding pattern of waiting for other things to occur in order for me to know which way to go. So it was really frustrating for me. So as I sat there with this blank piece of paper, I was getting a little pissed. Like, they're looking at new stuff to do and begin their journeys. I'm here mid-journey trying to figure this out. And I just see a white brick road, the yellow brick road where it's paved. I just saw pieces of 8x10s out as far as I could see. And it was overwhelming to me. And then one of my dragon playful friends stepped forward and started stepping on all of the papers. And as they did, they would put a little bit of a footprint and a full footprint or a toenail. But each time that paper was done, the next paper was done. And so this dragon's running down this very long path of 8 by 10 white sheets of Xerox paper. And it's flying all over the place. And I just start laughing. And I'm like, oh, so each piece of paper doesn't have to be so entailed. Interesting. Interesting. So then I found myself like in this cave, but it was open to the universe. It's on the top of like a mountain room. And what I described as the abominable snowman, which I later learned was a Yeti, was reviewing my stuff and then came over and blew into the top of my head and said, you can do this. Next thing I know, I was in utero. I was in utero. And I realized that was my preparation before my life, that I was going to get to this place where everything seemed very blank. How much patience and less pressure could I put on myself to just go with the blankness of just being fully present and seeing what presents around me. So then the next scene in my past life regression session was I was in the kitchen and my siblings were around, and I looked around and then I completely left my body and I was back up with the Yeti and I was sitting there, and then I went backwards into that classroom, and I could feel myself just going like this over my desk and not knowing what to do. And that was one of those moments. And then I came back to the Yeti and I said something like, I don't even know what I said at the moment, but then I flew back down and I was in my body as a grammar school age in the kitchen where I grew up with my siblings. And then I just started to run. And so the regressionist asked me, well, why did you come back? And I said, because I came here with work to do. I came here with things on my pieces of paper that I said I was going to do. And because I get frustrated, I can't just give up and go back, because I'm going to have to come back and learn it in a different way that might not be in my best interest. I don't want to repeat it. I don't want to leave it off my page and go back and then have to come back and repeat it. So why am I saying all this? Because you're going to hear people talk about so many different things in their spiritual growth and in what they're skilled in. So for me, excuse me, when I hear this stuff, it's irrelevant to me who's a background actor. It's irrelevant to me who's a cabal follower minion. It's irrelevant to me who's this, that, and the other. Because I'm here to read my own notes. I'm here to read my own paperwork. I'm here to look at my own plan and navigate that plan to the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. And when I get frustrated, I have to understand that I need to step away in order to look back at that paper again, and it might appear blank, but there might be just one little thing on that piece of paper, not a whole majestic list that my human thinks I've created for myself. Do you see where I'm going with this? And not every page is going to be full. Every page could have minor lessons in the major outlook of the bigger picture. And it happens like when I'm in past life regression work for myself, or I'm with clients, they will look at things, especially if it's an end of life thing, and they'll just be shown a short video of just clips of their life. And some of them they may stop to and take a quick glance at, and others are just to be shown to you. So not every single thing hinges on a profound life experience. It's, can you just experience whatever level that is? And can you experience it enough where you don't have to go back and repeat it in this lifetime? And if you have created things or participated in things that are a vibration that you no longer vibrate with, just ask for forgiveness and love of thyself and for others that may have been involved in that situation. And know that moving forward, you will never repeat that again. And I'm tearing up because it's such a simple yet huge lesson to learn. Is, am I patient with myself to evolve as a human spiritual combination, to look at my prime source creator divinity of myself and know that I'm a speck among many specks that make up many canvases and many lessons on that canvas. And can I pay attention to what my lessons are and not get drug into everybody else's skills, talents, detriments, pain, suffering? Can I look at what it is that I need to pay attention to, and look at other things as that I have to respect that that's their lesson, that's their thing, right? Because you've already asked yourself, is this something that I'm to be involved with? Is this something I'm supposed to hear? Is this something I'm supposed to take action with? Is this something that needs to be a rolling thought until I understand if I'm to do or take action or talk about? So again, I go back to all the things of everyone's toddling and adopting other people's ways of doing things or seeing their things when it could be very different for you. So the less comparing of yourself to others, I feel the more evolving you will do, because you're able to detach and respect the fact that you have a list of things that you came in to pay attention to. And it's all a treasure hunt, my friends. It's all a treasure hunt. Even when it's painful, it has treasure in it. It has gold in it. It has mystical and majestical learnings in everything, as long as you stay present. Because accidents happen when you're not paying attention. In truth, they can be avoided if you're grounded, paying attention to the me, myself, and I, and you're not all scattered in everybody else's hurt, sadness, blame, shame, victim, pointing the finger, criticism, opinion, game that really might not be you, but you've adapted those habits because of the people around you. And the real learning lesson to evolve is to realize that is not me, and that is not my personality. That is not my authentic, heartfelt self. And so I make the change today, and I push the pause button, and I step back into myself, and then I unpause myself, and I take action, And every time I find myself falling into old patterns, I pause that button and I step back into myself. And perhaps your pages will present I never know how these videos are going to come. I get a couple little bullet points and they tell me to sit down and just do them, and I do. So I never quite know which way we're going to zigzag. But I hope that this video touches you in ways that help you evolve and detach from things you've been caught up in that aren't your business, and be there for those who are your business, that are on your page, and work on those thoughts, work on what you talk about, and work on your actions on the daily, because it's a constant override. Pause, breathe, stop, drop, sit, connect with that breath, and reconfigure each day, because that, my friends, is where the lessons are. And accept yourself for all of it, because they're just lessons that you hope are pushing you more and more to being successful at being present as your beautiful human spiritual self. That's right. Breathe on that. If I can be of any assistance, my website's always in the description. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next video.